12 years ago, Steve and I made a life change and moved from Miami, Florida to Oregon, having bought a business. And I've been working with Steve since 1997. In 2008, I realized I had to do things differently and really stretch myself. And the first thing I had to do was to overcome my fear of speaking.
And here she is, guys.
So I immediately joined Toastmasters, and I did my own energy work to clear my own blocks. And the motto that I really embraced in 2008 is, if it's uncomfortable, then I ought to be doing it. Mm-hmm. I knew that intuitively. Being a competitive rower, I applied it to my sport as well as to my business and my personal life. In 2009, I had the foundation where I was ready to start to make a break, but I didn't know how to do it yet. I just knew that I had to do it. I was called and compelled, and I was already taking a no excuses approach at that point. Mm-hmm. I just didn't know the terms.
Mm-hmm. What made you want to join the mastermind?
Well, actually, I read Think and Grow Rich, and the whole concept really spoke to my entire life, because I had been doing that with my clients, having been a therapist since 1985, and watching them transform. I tried putting masterminds together myself that were free ones, either virtual or together, and every time that I walked on, because I wasn't getting what I needed, but everybody else was getting what they needed from me, the masterminds always fell apart, so I knew I needed something different. I wanted to come here, but the price kept me off until the 2-for-1 happened, and then I immediately got with someone and said, let's go. And she said yes, and we came. And I told Steve ahead of time, I know she's going to try and upsell us. And I'm not buying anything. And being here was so powerful. I'd never been to an event before. I got so much. I heard what I needed to be hearing. And when she put out the call for applications for the mastermind, I called Steve and I told him that I'm putting in an application. And he said, we don't have the money. And I said, don't you believe in me? Mm. And he did. Mm-hmm. And I love you for that, Steve. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
they always kiss in the mastermind groups, right? It's so cute. Don't go take a nap, okay?
Anyway, I went ahead and I joined the mastermind. And what Fabienne asked me is why I joined the mastermind when we did our call. And I told her I knew I can do this on my own. I had full conviction of that. But I knew by teaming up with Fabienne, I'd get there at lightning speed. Now, one of the things that's different from me than everybody else is I'm still working in my business with Steve. When I first started, I was still working 5 days a week in my business and doing this in addition, and I had no clients. I didn't even have a business when I joined the mastermind, actually. I just had this compelling desire that I had to do something differently, and I had the intention. And
what's it look like now?
Well, we changed the name of the business 3 times. The last time when I came up with the idea and she helped me fine-tune it during a group coaching call, she said to me, well, if you don't get it, I will. And by the end of the call, I go, Fabienne, I have it. I have the domain name. So what it looks like now is I'm working 2 days a week in our counseling agency because we've had to hire 2 people to replace me.
Yeah, from 5 days a week to now just working 2 days a week in their business. She's replaced herself with all these people. This is a big deal, right? Because you guys really needed to keep that business going, too.
Right, because I was the top money maker in our business. No matter how the whole business was doing, I was always full, and I carried the majority of the business income-wise. And so it was a very gradual, methodical process of cutting back 1 day every 4 to 6 months or so. So now it's 2 days in our business, 3 days with my Mindset for Marketing Success business. I work directly with clients about 6 hours a month. I pull in $4,000 to $5,000.
What do you think of that?
When I came home from the mastermind, from the MMBW, 2 days later, I sat down with my financial advisor, and I told him in 2 years I was going to have $1 million business.
I love that. So what is your favorite, so we need to wrap up, you guys, but I have so much content for you. What is your favorite thing about being part of a group of support members?
Part of being in this group is that I get to really align myself with go-getters that are just as they want so much to get to that next level and beyond. And so do I. I get to align myself. I get to see what they're doing, and it motivates me to want to do it because I realize now I'm really competitive.
So it's that healthy sense of competition that makes you apply all these things before you get to the next meeting.
But the other part was that I have a vision for something really huge, and it continues to transform, and where I'm going is very different than what I ever would have envisioned for myself, because right now I'm working with solopreneurs with really helping them to get their business to the next level of success. But my vision is to, once I get fully out of Copia, now that Steve's closing it, I will. That's been manifested. Is that I'm going to then continue to build my mindset businesses. As I'm doing that, my goal is to work with professional athletes to get them to the top of their game so they can reach their peak performance and beyond.
Give her a big hand.